recording.
Okay. Okay, so this is the way that I like to do it. It's the quickest way. You have one hook here, which is a big hook, and then two smaller hooks on either side. And so what you do is you run it over this hook, around this hook, back over this hook, and then twice around, or just see how it goes, just loops completely around that hook once. So it looks like that. Then you loosely hold it with this hand and you pull pretty firmly with this hand. So I think that it feels to me about like 20 pounds of pressure, maybe even slightly more. But with what you're doing, it doesn't need to be like incredibly like tightly stretched, like as tight as I stretch it with whips. Okay, so I was kind of shooting for like a 3 millimeter, so it looks good. All right, so what you're gonna do now is find the outside bend. So if you look at the strand, you'll notice it bends this way, and see how it's, so this is gonna be the outside, and this is the inside of, this is where we cut, and this is the outside of the skin. So you wanna make the outside cut first. So this is the tool that I'm gonna send you, something similar to it. Use this to resize and bevel at the same time. And since it doesn't matter since we're beveling all the way to the edge. So maybe you do need to be like over here. See if you can get this as close as possible. So this thing, see how it fits in here? Put it in there and then push the fence up. And you can measure it so it gets it right at 3 millimeter. I'm just going to eyeball it, but you can take your calipers, measure it, and see if it's the exact diameter you want it. And so this cut can be pretty much, cuts it down to the exact thickness or slightly larger, wider than what you want it. Sorry. And tighten this down. And I usually pull this up with needle nose pliers. Be careful when you're doing that. And then, so it's actually, see, it's beveling the edge and also resizing it at the same time. There's a lot of waste on this because this is just a practice piece, but you want to try and minimize that waste as much as possible. So I flipped it around and now we're going to bevel the other side. And you can look at it and make sure it's beveling. You want to make sure it bevels like all the way up to the flesh side, the finished side. Okay, so what I recommend, once you get it that, then you can take it to the splitter. I think you said you got another one of these splitters. Thank you for giving me this splitter. It works really well. I had to take it to a professional sharpener to get the blade fixed because it was in pretty rough shape when I got it from you. And I usually, for some of the things I made for you, it's 0.75, but for the really thin necklace cords, I think it was more like 0.5 millimeters, so really fine stuff. This is more like 0.75. And then that's it. Finished lace. Cool. Rock on.